We are about to take a tour of the ELMINA Castle. We had left our house back in Takaragi. Now we are here in Cape Coast, about an hour away. And here's how the castle's looking. So we're about to tour it and go inside.
So, like I was telling you, the painting. Take a look at them. Your dad?
Yeah.
He's my friend, my godfather for years.
Really?
Yeah, he never realized that he's been talking to me.
Oh.
I started talking to you. He said, no, is it not Andrew? I said, yes.
Oh.
He's a very good man, you know, indeed. It's LYDIA.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is what I sell.
Okay.
I sell this to support the children that wouldn't go to school.
It's pretty.
Yeah, you can choose some for me and buy some to support the kids.
How much is it?
Yeah, I sell it for $2.50.
Okay.
Are you the elder sister?
Yeah.
You want to help them?
Huh?
They'll have Lydia on next.
Okay, yeah.
So you write Lydia.
I'm not saying who wants to?
So,
I don't want to keep for.
you know,
I care, man.
babe, maybe I have a lot of the movie. Oh, yeah. What is this?
So which one again?
The green one.
Green one.
No, this one. Like this
I
one.
selected this one.
Yeah.
You want more? I choose more. I need to buy for you because your dad is my friend for many years.
Really?
What's his name? I forget his name. Emmanuel?
Yeah.
Emmanuel?
Yeah.
Yes.
He was telling me about how you were friends with him.
Yeah, I tried to take care of him because I wanted you to do better. You know.
So what happened? Joanna.
What's your name? We are going to start a tour from the female venues. That is where we normally start a tour. And also what we do is that before the tour begins, we give a brief history of the castle. Ghana, they built 3 castles. This is the first one. The name is St. George's Castle. Hello, you coming from here? Yeah, the name is St. George's Castle. It was built by the Portuguese in 1422. There is another one in Accra, the capital city. We call it Osu Castle or Christiansborg Castle. Those from Denmark built that one in 1661. And also there is a castle in Cape Coast. From here to Cape Coast is like about 20 minutes drive. British built that one in 1665. And apart from the 3 castles, this one they built more than 40 along the coasts of this country. So they built 3 of these ones, and this one's more than 40 along the coast of this country. So this is the aerial view of ELMINA, and when we get to the top of this one, you'll see all these things. This is a lagoon under the bridge. That is where it joins the sea. The name is Benya Lagoon. Now the people here, the main occupation is fishing. And apart from fishing, some of them also mine salt. So this is where the salt is mined. You can see this place. And then the other side. Now, this is where the big ships anchored. Because the sea was very close at that time. Today it has receded. So there is a door we call the door of no return. Small canoes took the slaves right from this side to the big ships and off to America or Caribbean for plantations. And according to the history, according to the history, the Portuguese were the Europeans who came to this place first. They came here 1471. They were here to trade and also to spread Christianity. The Portuguese brought guns, gunpowder, tobacco, alcoholic beverages, even they brought mirror in exchange of gold from the local people. and they were getting a lot of gold at that time. That is why they named this place Elmina. So Elmina means a mine. So Elmina is not the original name. Now, later the trade was booming, so they needed places to sleep and also to store their goods. So the leader of the Portuguese went to see a chief, and the chief gave them this land, and they built this castle 1482. And when they built it, they were using all the rooms on the ground floor as storerooms or warehouses. Now, when slave trade started, the same rooms were converted into dens where human beings were held. Slave trade started in 1500 or in the early part of 16th century, and that began what is known as transatlantic slave trade. So the Portuguese, they spent 155 years here. They used 100 years to trade in goods, 55 years for slave trade. Europeans were also attacking themselves, so Dutch attacked the Portuguese in 1637, 29th August. Dutch defeated the Portuguese and took over the building. So they also spent 235 years here. 1807, slave trade was abolished by the British due to industrial revolution and also on humanitarian grounds. And later, 1814, Dutch also abolished it. And when the slavery was over, Dutch sold this castle to the British in 1872. British did not use this castle to trade in human beings, but rather British used this castle for their day-to-day administration. But they used the other castle that I mentioned, Cape Coast Castle for slavery. And they used this castle for their day-to-day activity. That's what they used it for. And British were here, so Ghana became independent state in 6 March 1957. They left peacefully, and Ghanaians also took over this one. But later, this castle was designated by UNESCO as one of the world's heritage monuments in 1979. And this is the oldest and the largest castle in the world in terms of transatlantic slavery. As it stands now, the castle is 541 years old. That is the name of the castle. Any question? So this is a brief history. We are now going to start a tour. You can take pictures. You can also ask questions as the tour goes on.
Oh God. Yes.
Now let's have a look. Look, this is the first Christian church. The first Christian church the Portuguese built in this country. It's a Catholic church. This one, and the Portuguese brought the red bricks. We have two types of bricks here. You see red bricks and yellow bricks. And wherever you see the reddish ones from Portugal, the yellowish ones also Dutch brought them. Yeah, so this is a Catholic church. And the Dutch came, they were not Catholics. Dutch were Protestants. They didn't use this church, and they built their own church, ironically on top of the female bench. So we have two churches here. Dutch Reformed Church or Protestant Church, and we have the Catholic Church, unfortunately. So some of them were Christians as well. Now, when you look up there, you have two water towers. Have you seen the towers? You have one here and one at the corner over there. Dutch soldiers were up to look on the sea for any possible attack when they were here. Now, when British took over, they converted the towers into prisons. So British captured a very powerful Ghanaian king from Ashanti region, Kumasi. The name of the king is Prempeh I. The king was imprisoned in this one for 2 years and later exiled to Seychelles Island across the Indian Ocean. The same British also captured a queen mother, a woman. She led people when they were fighting the British. The name is Ya Asaitua. She later exiled to Seychelles Island across the Indian Ocean. Now, this wall, the slanted wall here, When you look over there, we have a similar one. Dutch added them to support the walls of the castle when they took over from the Portuguese. Now, the metal rails, the iron rails that we see on top of it, also added by the British. British used this castle as police training school in 1948. So the policemen were climbing up and down for training or exercise. Look, the governor was on top of everybody. He was up. In the middle one for the assistant governor. The rest of the rooms were for soldiers. We have the missionaries and this side for the merchants. Apart from that, all the rooms that you see are now were then changed for the male slaves. The male slaves were about 600, the female slaves were about 400. So at one time, this castle held approximately 1,000 slaves. Now we have two separate cells. Let's compare the cells.
Mom, do you have
The vlog.
what? A handkerchief.
I have to turn the bus, I'm sorry. No, that's me. You are old. You are old. I told them I didn't want to regularize my.
Now let's go inside.
Oh my gosh. Oh no.
Now, this was a cell for the European soldiers, not for the slaves. They said some of the European soldiers went out without permission. Some were drunk. They were disturbing. So they were in this one as punishment, and later they will be released. And they did that to set as an example for the rest of the Europeans. That is why you can see this cell is well ventilated. Now let's see the other one.
Interesting.
Yeah, punishment. Just go get air. And then
Oh.
Let's get inside.
Oh no.
oh, and then they have the thing here. So they probably
Oh, today.
I don't know.
I'll join you there. I want you to know the difference.
Wow.
No air. What a difference. There's a hole on the top. What is that doing? Oh, well, you tell me.
So this was a cell for the slaves. A cell for the slaves, those who tried to escape, those who were fighting the masters to be released. They were in this one, and in this one, no food, no water until you die. So this was a death or condemned cell for the slaves. That is why in front of the cell we have a crossbow in the heart. Whoever came here died.
Pretty well. 100-foot sailboat.
catamarans are crazy. It was not a catamaran. It was.
Where did the guy go? Oh.
But I would, yeah, I have done it already, but I'm just looking for the WhatsApp.
It's so weird because I literally felt a difference. You know what I'm saying?
But then knowing that when you get in there, you knew you weren't ever coming out.
Right.
Nobody thought it was fun.
Hello. Coming. Inside where? You're supposed to follow your voice?
Where is he?
I even see the scholars. I think she's behind.
Okay, so you can start in the shade. And then be in the shade. Now look, this is a cannonball that they used to punish the female slaves. This ball. There were 8 of such balls here with chains connected. When the Europeans came, according to the history, only the men were here without their wives. There were soldiers here, missionaries, merchants, governor, and even the governor's assistants. So some of them were harassing the female slaves sexually. Some of them resisted rape, and some of the slaves were very strong and they tried fighting the masters. Some even tried to escape. So those people were brought here and it would be chained to the leg. 8 balls here. The person stands here whether there is rain or sunshine. And that period, no food, no water. So for the women, punishment came in the form of public humiliation. When they see that you are very weak, and then you'll be released. They did that just to serve as a deterrent to the rest of the women in the dungeon. So anytime you are called to do something, quickly you have to obey. So that is the purpose of this thing. Now let's have a look. Now look, these are wooden bars. All these are wooden bars. At that time they used this one, these are the original ones. The iron bars. You see, but because the castle is very close to the sea, the original ones are getting rusted. So all of them have been replaced with wood. So wherever you see wooden bars like this, you will see this one. Now, when you look on the floor, the clothes that you see, these are not the original ones. There was a program here. It was held on 3rd July 2015. And the title for the program is The Return of the Slaves. So many people came here, some from America, some from Canada, Nigeria, Ivory Coast, this dungeon for one night, just to have a feel of how the slaves felt when they were here. And even we left here very late. The next day when we came, security told us that after the program, some of them fell sick and they were rushed to the hospital. You can picture how it was when the relative was going to school. So that's what they used to cover, because the slaves were half naked. Now, I've already told you that in this castle there are two churches. The Portuguese came first, they built their own church over there, that's the Catholic church. When Dutch took over, they were not Catholics, they were Protestants. So they built their own church, ironically, on top of this dam. So they were worshiping God up. Human beings were down, also crying for help. The two churches. And I told you we have two types of bricks. So when you look down there, you see, these are bricks from Portugal, the red bricks. These are all imported ones from Portugal. And look at the yellowish ones, like this. Also the Netherlands brought this one. Any question? Let's continue. Water reservoir, this one, so we still have water in it. They connected pipes like this one right on top of the building, and whenever it rains, it passes through. The water was filtered over there and clean one we harvested here. This covers the entire floor, the whole floor, so we are all standing on it. And when it is full, we have 20,000 gallons of water for domestic use. This one. And look at this place. This is the balcony. According to the history, anytime the governor of the castle wants to satisfy his sexual desire, that is when he stands. And they said some of the women will be assembled as we are, and the governor chooses the one he likes. Now, they have to fetch water for the one chosen by the governor to wash down. Maybe the person must have been in the dungeon for so long without taking the bath. And after the humiliation, they still have to force the woman to climb the stairs. Yeah, so the selected woman will be forced to climb this one. There's a trap door on top, they have to open it and up straight to the governor's bedroom. And after the rape, the woman still comes back as a slave. And because of what happened, they said a lot of them got pregnant. And those who got pregnant were free, because no one would buy a pregnant slave. But you see, the slaves were not from Ghana alone. Some from Nigeria, Ivory Coast, Togo, Mali, Burkina Faso. Ghana was like a hub. Apart from Ghana, there's a castle in Senegal. It's an island, so we call it Gori Island. When you go to Mombasa in Kenya, there's a fort there called Fort Jesus. Nigeria, we have Badagry slave market in Nigeria. The same Nigeria, we have Calabar slave market. So they were bringing them from all these angles. And because the pregnant women, some of them were from long distances, when they were free, they could not trace their origin. Now, when they gave birth, the children were light skinned. So they sought the children to be their own. And they built houses outside the castle for the pregnant women, and they brought the children back, and those children were educated. They were not slaves. That is why even today in Ghana, it is common to hear names like Vanderbilt, Vandal, Sierra, De Gea, Da Costa. You even have Vroom, Johnson, Blankson, Dixon, McCarthy, and the rest of the names. All are as a result of the family of the Europeans. Any question? Now, among the dungeons for the female slaves, this is the largest one. All the dungeons, this one is the largest. So 150 women were here. There was a door at where we just came from, a door there close to the side. Another door over there. Ventilation was from this one, and then the small one that you see there. And this is the original floor. Human beings were sleeping on a bare floor. And in this castle, there were no toilet facilities for the slaves. Because initially, they were using these as storerooms. Now, when they shifted to slavery, the same rooms were converted into dungeons. So they have to put containers in the dungeons for the slaves to use themselves. So you can imagine those who were very weak, or those who were sick and could not get closer to the containers, would have to ease themselves. They were women, they had their menses, they were in the same condition. So a lot of them died because of the conditions in the dungeon. And they spent 3 months in the dungeon, but the ships came every 3 months. And when he died, according to the history, they carried the body and then they throw it into the sea. Any question? Now, when the ships came, all the female slaves who survived through the brutalities there, they were all back in chains and they were forced through this one. And when you get down, there is a door we call the door of no return. So the big ships were ready to take them away. These iron bars were not there at that time. Later they placed the bars to make sure nobody falls down. And also there were stairs. Today the stairs have been destroyed and there is a drainage system constructed. Sometimes when it rains heavily in the steps, so they did this whenever there is heavy downpour, the rains will just get out of the castle and then to join the sea. Let's continue. We are going to see the door of no return, and then there are some people who they are after you. But when you look back there, the small room that you see, that was where they kept branding irons, because the male slaves were branded. The branding irons with the initials on top of it. So we have initials like ITA, International Trading Association.
Oh my goodness.
We have some like JSS, John Smith Slave. They put that side in fire, very hot. When removed, it touch your chest, your arms, or your back. So the marks will be there for easy identification. Now, they're coming in there. So the tall guy is up there. And we have two entrances here. This is the first one. You have to mind your head, and there is one step down. You see? Mind your head and a step down. The second one, you bow very low, count 5 steps before you raise up your head. We are going to see the door of no return.
Oh my gosh. That's so sad.
America or Caribbean for plantations. And because a lot of them died, Mr. Slade reads that you see at the corners of the floor to remember those who died in the dungeons, as well as those who also died at sea. And some do not believe in the Christian religion, so when they come here, they also use alcohol to be poor libations. Yeah. And even before the slaves were brought here, they were sent to this place, Asin Mansu. I don't know whether some of you know that. There's a river there from there to Asin Mansu, almost 20 minutes drive. There's a river there. That was where the slaves had their last bath. They were shaved before they were brought here. As I speak, the river is still there, and there are tour guides there. When you go, they also take you through and give you the history. And we call the river Don Consio in our language, but in English it's Slave River. But sometimes when visitors come here, some of them do not get a chance to see the river, maybe due to time constraints. And you know, slave trade also lasted more than 400 years. So we cannot use 45 to an hour to narrate everything. And for that matter, when people come here, they ask of materials. They want to get some books that they can rely on. So there are books that they say we have books like Indigenous Slavery in Ghana. You get the Slave River and everything in other books. When we get out, I'll let the guy bring some so that you can also see. No, that is
another Cape Coast castle.
Because Cape Coast Castle was built purposely for slave trade.
That's why I was looking for this earthly floor.
Yeah. Can you hold this side?
Oh, sure.
So the governor slept above all these slaves.
Is that what?
I said, so the governor slept above all these slaves.
Yeah, and the church right there.
Wow.
Yeah.
The praying.
All the rooms up for the Europeans, and all the rooms down for the slaves.
And they're praying right there,
Yeah.
and all that going on right there.
Wow.
That's why the churches
We know where they
all
are.
hypocrites.
Yeah.
Churches are all hypocrites.
So you need to get the book that they're telling you and get rid of
I have
indigenous slavery.
This is so sad.
You speak Chief?
I want to learn though. I'm gonna come live here for a few months.
You gonna do it?
Yeah. I have to.
You get to learn the language. You have to.
This W,
This is the original still, right?
is a symbol of the Dutch West Indies Company. Have you seen it? So this is the governor's bedroom.
Okay.
This is the governor's bedroom. Let's have a look. And the floor is weak, so they are doing some maintenance work. So in all, the governor enjoyed 12 windows. 12 windows for one person.
Yeah.
Look at the number of people in the venue, the number of ventilation.
No, not
This is sick. This is the trap door?
Yeah.
Wow.
So you can stand over there and those kind of things. So this is a trap door where the selected woman came up to the governor's bedroom. So we will still go this way. So.
Okay.
Yeah, trap door was.
And down there, he selects his lady. Selects his woman to have sex with. Sickening. Right above a church. Hypocrisy. This is so sick. So sick, so sick.
The circle and triangle. This one. These are secret society symbols. The circle means eternity, and the triangle is perfection. So some of them were not Christians as well. These are secret society symbols.
So sick. Secret society. And they have a Bible verse up here. This is terrible.
So, Dutch Reform Church for the Protestant Church. And this one on top of a diamond, and they wrote this called Dutch. Zion is the Lord's resting place forever, from the Bible. Psalm 132, verse 14. This is my resting place forever. Here I will dwell. And this mold will be filled with water from here out to the end. And the bridge that you see, have you seen the bridge? That bridge, it's a drawbridge. They can easily lift it up to close the entrance. So no one will get a chance to enter the castle for security by raising the bridge that you see. That one was built by the Dutch in 1665 because when Dutch were attacking the Portuguese, some from the side and others from sea. That's why they were able to defeat the Portuguese. So when they defeated the Portuguese, they built this one to protect inland. And this one, the name is Fort St. Jago. And some of the buildings that you see were built by the Europeans, very close, for the women who got pregnant. But later, the indigenous people, they renovated some of them and then they are using them as their own. And when the Portuguese came, the village was around this place. That's what they are from. You see, so this is this one and and later they were forced to proceed from here. Now, there are a lot of books. I want the guy to bring some of the books, so if you want to get some of the books, let's see this.
How much are they?
Slavery in Ghana, you have cry and lamentation. You have a lot of books there. This one for children.
How
So
much?
you can get the slave river, the whole
150 and 180 CDs, all in CDs. 150, 180.
You said only CDs.
150
and 180 CDs.
This is 50 CDs.
so for children. Now, this seems to be the officers' mess, where the senior officers were enjoying themselves. Any question? In the early 1990s, the chiefs held a ceremony here called Fihankra. And Fihankra simply suggests, when the slaves were going, they never had the opportunity to say goodbye. And after they went to America for a meeting, when they came, they brought a flag. I saw somebody taking a picture of it. When we were entering the first cell, it's a whitish flag. Yeah. It's a mission statement of the whole tour of the castle. And the flag reads, in the everlasting memory of the anguish of our ancestors. May those who died rest in peace. May those who return find their roots. May humanity never again perpetrate such injustice against humanity. We, the living, vow to uphold this. We, the living, vow. So I think as we walk out the castle, we all carry a lot of responsibilities. We are just going to preach against injustice. And from today, we see ourselves as brothers and sisters. So I believe that will be the end of the tour. I wish all of you safe journey and also have a nice day. We have short snaps, we want to have a good.
This is really interesting because I've never seen a moat before.
A what?
A moat. This.
What's supposed to be in there? Water?
Water. All the way up here. That's why they have a drawbridge. Guys, I felt so bad. He was trying to guilt trip me.
The guy is calling me from
Which guy?
the guy who made the bracelet. I think he wants to see.
Lydia, can I keep the hat?
Oh my god.
Lydia, you want the hat?
No, you can't.
No, you're fun.
Oh my god.
He wants to find Dutch in Lydia's name.
How does he even know my name?
You told him.
Exactly. And they remember.
I was talking about what's your last name. I was like, you want my whole government?
I'm saying,
No.
you see? That's
Look, he's
the
right. He's behind you.
Yeah.
He's trying to get my. Don't look to the left of you. Don't look. Because he's trying to.
trying to what?
Quasi, I just told you not to look and you're gonna turn around.
Because what is he gonna do? Break the window?
Exactly.
Like, let's be for real.
I feel so bad.
everybody?
Yes.
Stop it.
All aboard except the cook.
But yeah, they made this purse for free, but they were basically asking us for a donation. And then this other guy, he's outside of the window, and he's basically asking me to get his painting. But I don't really want it.